Because for me, when I read it, I'm like, okay, I gotta read this as all type of history books in one. I see it as a science book. I see it as a history book. I see it as a mathematics book. I see it as an English book. Like, I see it as all the things that they teach us in school in one book, and I have to break it down into different subjects for me. So if I'm trying to learn something about how the world was made, you literally have to figure out the formula, which is goes into science and math. Like they talk about days, and when you break everything down, it's codings. And I speak about us being aligned with our pattern, and how my alignment number is 111, and that number was assigned to me on my spiritual awakening, just by God. Like, it was just becoming my number that I saw repeatedly all the time. And when it was happening in monumental moments in my life, like always, like graduations or at some type of celebrations, I would see it, which was letting me know that I was being spiritually guided. Now, I see number patterns all the time, yes, but that number is my number. If you guys notice, I assigned it to myself because it was assigned to me first. Like, a lot of things happen spiritually before it happens physically, and I want us to understand that. Just because somebody hasn't blessed you with a title yet, don't mean it is not in a title in the spirit form yet. Because for the longest, if you guys don't know, I was over the past couple months, I was coaching for cheerleading. Now, this is something new for me, something I've never done before. But I'm like, okay, in my mind, for me, I'm like, okay, God has placed me as a coach. That is the title that I now hold in the spiritual realm. I think like that always, because I know that this physical form is not forever. So it has to be something that's working in the spiritual form first. And that's when I was just talking about in the last video about Jesus. Jesus was used in the Bible the whole time about speaking about what happens in the spirit comes to reality. What happens in the spirit form can manifest into the physical. It talks about that all the way through. And so that's why I want to have more. I love having conversations with you guys, because we all see different point of views throughout the Bible. We all can put our point of views together to get a vantage point, so we can merge it. Because those are the pieces we're missing when we stop connecting with each other. So reading it, you gotta look, okay, well, that didn't happen in this historic time, but how can I reference it to this time? If they didn't have people in power in there, well, they had kings and queens in the Bible. So now we have to look at it, or those kings and queens similar to our political system?